Let me get to your stock picks first and see if we will have enough time for this one question. But if not, that question will roll on over to tomorrow's Stock Watch. So let's get to your stock picks, gents. Shane, what are you choosing today?
As an RT, I'm going for Truworths, which was down 3% today. And the reason, I'll give you two reasons. The first is that the South African long bond yield has rallied from 11% to under 9% over the last 12 months. That should be the inverse of the Truworths PE. The Truworths PE should have gone up, and actually it's gone down, let's say from 9 or 10 to 7. So the share is extremely cheap, despite the fact that the long bond has moved in the opposite direction. And then I would say management. I think that Michael Mark is among the most trustworthy of all the chief executives on the JSE. I don't think that he's immune to what goes on around him. I mean, we know the economy is not growing, but at the end of the day, one of the most important things we believe at All Weather is you must invest with management that you trust. And if you don't trust the jockey, just don't do it. And I think he's a very trustworthy person.
All right, very interesting take there. Well, let's get to your stock pick for today, Ricus. Where are you finding value?
LVMH, luxury. I've been going on about Richmond for a while and thinking that's about. I think LVMH in the same sector also has potential. Unlike Richmond, it's got a broader product base, from handbags down to sparkling wine, or as my wife said, baubles and bags and bubbles. So in that sense, they are not as dependent on one specific sector like Richmond, for example. Plus, the company itself has been under pressure ever since COVID, basically. But we are seeing signs of a turnaround in revenue. And as I've said, free cash flow depends on three things: margins, revenue, and how you handle your debtors and creditors book. So if we can get a revenue increase, and I think that's what it looks like, as if you've got a turnaround in that, their margins are fine. It's going to drop down to cash flow and earnings, and at current prices, also just from a technical aspect, looking at a graph, it does look as if it's got a turnaround situation going, with at least a 15-20% price upside.
Just lastly, Ricus, I'm quite interested in this kind of recovery that you're seeing in LVMH and I guess the general luxury stock market, because those are tied to what's happening in China. Is that also meaning that there is some sort of optimism coming through in terms of how China's economy will filter through to these companies?
China is important, but in the case of LVMH, they're far more geographically spread than just dependent on China. So don't forget Europe. Don't forget South America. Don't forget developing markets apart from China. Don't forget Europe itself.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and for your analysis today, gents. And thank you for educating us. That is all for tonight's Stock Watch. Thanks to our guests, Ricus Reeders from PSG Hole in One Ruimsig and Shane Watkins from All Weather Capital. Up next, the close. Stay watching.
Stockwatch is brought to you by Merchant West. Where others stop, we push further. Because we believe business as usual doesn't lead anywhere new. Go beyond with Merchant West. Finance, invest, insure.